Oh, look at the roll. I just did the steering wheel roll. Look at that. Yeah, one-handed roll. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I just want to show you natural driving. Natural driving that I would do with this yoke wheel. Now I'm sitting in a pretty comfortable position. I'm not even going to think about it. I've been using it for quite some time now. And I just want to see how I do it. I had some issues in the beginning with this part right there, just the ease of rolling it back. And now, like I said, I'm just not even going to think about it. I'm just going to talk to you about how I go through it. Rest my hands where it's nice and comfortable. Once you get used to the yoke, it's like nothing else. I mean, I don't know if it's better or worse than a regular steering wheel, but it's definitely different. And you've been using the same steering wheel for how many years now? This is a welcome change in my book. In my opinion, it's a welcome change. I'll try to speak over the road noise a little bit, and that's about it. You know, I'll just talk about anything that stands out to me. I'm usually a one-hand driver. Reaching the stalks has been pretty easy overall. So here I am. I do lean in more, I just noticed. So I get a little core workout. But then I'm trying to think, do I do that with every car? So my hand is resting comfortably here. Sorry about the ashiness. Just got done working. So here we go. I feel like this is my most comfortable position. The nice thing are these nubs. And of course the steering wheel looks similarly to the stock Model S steering wheel. It's not perfect because it hasn't been released for the Model 3 yet, but it looks as stock as it can be. Now there is an install video that I have that I actually use most of the same components from my standard original wheel. So it looks pretty stock to me. Now I noticed that my hands are like this. It's right over this little nub right here, which is a pretty comfortable position. And as I pull up, I have been kind of paying attention, and I notice when I determine it's a sharper turn, the placement of my second hand varies, right? It varies depending on my mood or what I feel like doing. So right now I know I'm going over the top, so I'm just gonna go with this hand, right? And then bring it back, ease it back. No big deal, right? And look where my hands went naturally rested right back here. So, oh, and notice how I hit the stalks. See that? I just use my middle finger and I keep my hands on the wheel and I just press it down. Pretty comfortable. Now, I don't know about proper technique, but I drive with one hand most of the time. It's either resting here, resting up here, resting down here. And we did talk about how when you're on autopilot, it's so nice and easy to rest your hand here. Almost too nice. Like I said, you would have to pay a little closer attention so you don't get too comfortable, right? So it's nice and easy. Look at that. I just switch hands. I switch hands without thinking about it at all. So here comes the left hand turn. Now, it could be muscle memory or it could be my familiarity with the area, but I know how sharp most of these turns are, right? Look, I started with this hand and I just rolled it over. Now, sometimes I do one hand and all the way around. It just depends on my mood, right? So, but it's easy. That's my point. My point is you get used to it pretty quickly. And at first, initially, my biggest change was I used to always rest my hand up here. I used to rest my hand up here. And then in the beginning, I would always reach and miss, right? But just the first, few days or so, first few days. But other than that, yeah, it's comfortable. Look at it, it's just comfortable. And then there's times when I do need to maneuver pretty quickly. I wouldn't call it aggressively, but I would say suddenly, then grabbing it like a race. Like my favorite is still fighter jet or handlebar. This is still my favorite. Like when I'm gonna drive, when I need to maneuver abruptly or quickly, I go into fighter jet position. My biggest concern was how my wife liked it, and she really likes it a lot. She actually loves it. It could be something that really separates the two vehicles because we have a Model X as well with the standard round steering wheel. So it could be something that really sets them apart, but it is something that is different. All right, it gives a different dynamic to your driving. So I'll wait till I get up to some turns and then I'll proceed. When I'm just really just relaxing, I have my hand resting on my thigh and I'm barely touching the edge. That is possible due to the wide base of the yoke. It's wide, so my hand can rest on my thigh and I can just control the steering wheel. Like I said, it's very comfortable to use. There it is with my left hand or back over to my right hand. The install again was super easy. I'll link to that. So I'm gonna make a sharp right, then another right, and then I'll probably get you a little bit of freeway action, and then we'll say, look where my hand, it already went up here, and here we go. So I can hit it one-handed. Like I said, I can hit it one-handed just like that, and that was a sharp turn, right? And sometimes I do one-handed. Sometimes I start from below down here and turn it. But I just want to show you the natural way. The natural way for me is to just do whatever my body tells me. Whatever my body tells me. But let's see how we get onto this freeway right here. So here we come up on it. And see, did you see that? My hand slid up. It was ready to go clockwise. It was ready. I know in my neighborhood sometimes, depending on the turn, I'll go from down here, I'll go from up here, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel awkward anymore. In the beginning, it felt a little awkward. So here comes somebody walking, and here we go. So if I start from the bottom, that's easy too. That's easy too. So now we're just on the freeway. Show you some lane change in action. So look at this right here. Easy, easy. Sorry about the wind noise again. And merging over. Another thing is the grip. I feel like I have better control. I don't know about better. I feel like I have a lot of control with one-handed driving. I don't know about better because I've gotten used to this, you know. So I can't really say if it's better, but I definitely feel like I have a lot of control. Just look, it's like a handle. It's like a handle, right? So I'm changing lanes with one hand. Don't at me with you're supposed to drive a car with two hands, right? And look at that. Here we go. We enabled autopilot, and I'll just give you a little bit of this because it's pretty straightforward. You rest your hand here. You rest your hand here. You are applying just enough pressure. Just enough pressure and you're good to go. So look at that. One hand, you can do two hands, but it's comfortable. You can rest your hand up here. I do that sometimes. I'll just rest it right here. It feels a little, I don't want to say more again, but it feels very natural. Very natural. All right. I'll show you guys in the parking lot in a little bit. All one hand. A standard turn is easily done with one hand. And see how I switched. I knew I was turning right, so I just went over to the right hand. That's my style again. I could go here, like I said, come up under, but I feel like it's easier just to come down. And this is another sharp one. One hand, and then yeah, I did support it with the second hand. I did. Here we go. And eased it back into place. No, I'm not trolling the people getting gas at Costco. Oh, notice that roll. Did you notice that hand roll I just did? Yeah, that steering wheel roll. Something that I didn't think I'd be able to do. And I don't know if it's the most, the best way. But look, I do the roll too sometimes. Look at that. I'm gonna let this car go so I can reverse on in. No, I'll reverse right here. All right, here we go. Oh, look at the roll. I just did the steering wheel roll. Look at that. Yeah, one-handed roll. One-handed roll. Something I didn't think I'd be able to do. Let me go get some food, and I'm going to come back. I'm back. Hopefully the camera and the audio is all the same. But, again, leaving the parking lot. Natural, here's the roll. I do the roll. And this is not a wheel, but I can still roll my hand. And if you notice there's indentations, right? And there's not jagged or hard edges, but there's definitely a defined ridge. A defined ridge starting from up here, coming around here. So you know where everything is. You can feel it. And I think that's by design, because if it was just smooth, it might be a little harder to just navigate without looking, right? I can feel it now. I got the feelings down. And like I said, when I switch to the other vehicle, it's no issue, right? It's just back and forth, back and forth. Natural. Natural. However my hand wants to do it, right? It rolls. Now, people will talk about safety of the way I drive. You might say that's not good enough grip. You should always hold it, sternly, tightly gripped. But I don't. And if you do, that's great. Hopefully that keeps everyone safe. But I'm not even going to say anything that will make me knock on wood. But I've been doing all right with this way for many years, and it's comfortable, right? Not to the point where I would say I'm complacent with it, with my driving style, but you know when to be a little more alert or a little more stable when you're holding the wheel. You know that. I did a handoff right there. We're going into the sun a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't affect your vision. So I have my elbow resting on the door, and this is another very comfortable position I find myself in. So if we go through the neighborhood, there's a one hand, left hand turn. And you saw the one hand signal, and then the one hand turn, and then the one hand turn. And as we approach, I'm gonna switch to the left turn. I keep my hand right here, right? I keep my hand right here, and it's no big deal at all, at all. If I want to bust a U, here we come. Here we come. All the way around. This has to be two hand, right? Here we go. Boom. Easy. And back. And look at that roll back. Saw that roll back? And back. And look at that roll back. That was my issue. That roll back the first couple days. And here we go. Let's do it. Notice that I had to turn a little more sharply, so I came up with it. But again, you have this. You feel like you got grip. You feel like you have grip. So once again, as we end this video, I feel highly confident that you will learn it pretty quickly. And I feel like you might enjoy it, right? At first it did feel like a little more work, but now it's natural to me, and it's no big deal, and I actually love it. Once again, just your natural standard position for me is probably here, 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 or here, one-handed. If I go two-handed, it's like this, like the claws. That's just natural. It feels good, and I feel like I have a lot of control, and that's about it. So, hey, I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below. There's a discount code below for the actual yoke wheel. But don't forget, Cobra told you. All right, y'all.